Za'Darius Smith. You expecting a big game from him?
I am, because if you're ranking every player from the Colts offensive line or the Colts tackles and the Lions edge rushers, Za'Darius Smith would rank number 1 with a wide gap between the rest of them. The Colts tackles are not the strength of their offensive line, and Za'Darius Smith, he's a damn good player. He's the one who the Lions brought in to fill the Aiden Hutchinson void, who got a half a sack in his first game, who I think will be somebody who provides more consistent pressure than anybody else that they have. I think it's a big game for Za'Darius Smith. You know who I also have a big game for as well?
To me.
Kirby Joseph gets his 8th pick.
Ooh.
Guaranteed.
Ooh.
Kirby Joseph gets his 8th pick of the season.
Damn right.
I'm on my Spencer Raxter grind right now. Kirby Joseph gets his 8th pick of the season because Anthony Richardson is going to throw one up for grabs. And nobody plays center field, nobody ball hawks in the NFL better than Kirby Joseph. And I think it's going to be on a deep ball.
Yeah, I 100%. It's like, that's one of the bets that I believe people should place every single week, is that Kirby Joseph is going to get an interception. The way that this guy has continued to go out there, I'm not surprised anymore. I'm not shocked. I'm just like, when he doesn't, when I see the ball get chucked into the secondary, I'm surprised when he's not around the play. Like, and so that's the impact he's had, and it's amazing that he's able to put up those type of stats when you have another absolute juggernaut in your backfield in Brian Branch.
Yeah.
Like, who I'm expecting go out there and absolutely dominate. You talk about a guy who wants to make sure that physically the other team understands, don't come near my way. I believe that they do. As a game wears down, we talk about the punishment they can put on the quarterbacks. What these linebackers and safeties are doing to wide receivers, I do believe, even before the game is played now, you better watch out. Yeah. How, if you are a wide receiver, how do you prepare and not take into account that you have some some just missiles back there in the secondary, and then you also got the team lead in tackles in Jack Campbell. That's where I'm like, you know what, this defense could have a day. We talk about the offense having a lot of mouths to feed, but they're doing it. I think this is a game where the defense has a lot of mouths fed,
especially. I mean, I specifically brought up the secondary. I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Branch gets one, and maybe Brian Branch has another big hit. I mean, I hate to harken back to it again, but Evan Ingram's a big dude.
He is.
And Brian Branch sent him to space.
With a New Holland.
With a New Holland. I mean, he might as well enjoy
Space
something
machine.
on the way to space. But the point is that he wasn't some 5'9" slot receiver. It's Evan Ingram, and Brian Branch murdered him. And Brian Branch, he's another one. He's got 4 interceptions himself. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets one. I think, honestly, the key to this defense, and I don't think that they'll have any problem doing it, is stop Jonathan Taylor and don't let Anthony Richardson get those big third down scrambles. If you do that, you'll win comfortably.
Jordan Linehart, and you guys give me your player on defense, and whether it's your X factor or your MVP on defense, chat family, and what big play you think is going to happen. And Jordan Linehart believes Za'Darius Smith strip sack. That would be beautiful.
You know what? I've got a stat for you guys, and it's not just about Anthony Richardson and the fact that he's reckless and throws a lot of interceptions. It's the fact that the Colts have committed the 4th most turnovers in the NFL this season. The 4th most.
There it is.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
That sounds very opportunistic for this Lions defense.
And who's got the most interceptions? Kirby Joseph. Who's got, I think, tied for 4th? Brian Branch.
It's only logic.
It's only logic.
At this point.
Who just had his first couple of the season against the Texans? Carlton Davis.
I'm pumped up, man. And you know what? I got to go to our booth as well as, we'll start with Kavasi Chase. If you're good, just who's your defensive MVP, man?
Of the game or the
game?
Kirby.
Yeah,
I'm hoping he can end up locking up the depoy. So I think he's got the best case for it. So just hoping he can just continue to write his name in history, be the 5th safety to ever win the award.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. What up, W?
I mean, you got to say either Kirby or Brian Branch. Interchange them how you want to. They essentially are the same corner. They both are dominant at what they do. And you can see them making an impact in this game. But I don't know why I got a sneaking suspicion that the linebacker playing this game. Yep. Yeah, I see you look up. Yep. I have a sneaking suspicion because, we all know how they going to look without Alex Anzalone. I think this team will be fine. Look for Jack Campbell to get a sack in this game. I feel like they will bring the pressure to AR5, and they going to get to him, man. I really feel like he will get a sack in this game, and maybe even a Rodrigo interception.
I'm salty. Says Jack Campbell will be the MVP. 2 sacks and an interception. That would be insane.
That's aggressive, but I would love it to happen. I would love it to happen. That's aggressive.
That's aggressive. I would love
You're
it.
Defensive Player of the Week if you do that.
Yeah, for real.
JB, who's your defensive player for this game, man?
I mean, I think unanimously, hands down, it's got to be Kirby. Like, come on.
Big Kirby.
Once again, Kirby's going to sit out here, get another pick, and as Chase said, continue on that race for Defensive Player of the Year, which I honestly think he could get at this point if these interceptions just keep coming his way every single game. Like, this is an easy get for me.
This is one where I'm expecting Jared Goff to really have no problems. No qualms. I know that the last couple weeks there's been, or 3 or 4 weeks, there's been this aspect of teams trying new things, disguising new things. But this is a week where I expect the Detroit Lions to push the tempo, push the agenda, and force Indianapolis Colts to continue to make adjustments to what they're doing.
Yeah, and there are a couple trends that don't bode well for the Colts. I'll just say that. They have a bottom 5 run defense in the NFL.
Oh.
If you're going to be bad at something, you don't want it to be the run defense. And I'm not even trying to sound like I'm being condescending to them. It's just the reality.
It's Jahmyr Gibbs
just
and
the
David
reality.
Montgomery. It's this offensive line.
I have no worries whatsoever that the Lions, I think they're getting at least 150 on the ground. I think that that's a mortal lock. Whatever you have for your overs for total rushing yards, you should smash those for the Colts, for the Lions this weekend. But they also have, in terms of passing yards allowed per game, which will help Jared Goff, the 7th worst. And that's the thing. The Colts defense, they have some talented players. DeForest Buckner's really good.
Yep.
Former Wolverine Kwity Paye, I like him.
Grover Stewart.
They've got good pieces on the D-line. Latu Latu. Zaire Franklin leads the whole bleeping NFL in tackles. They have their nickel corner. I think it's Kenny Moore.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
Good.
He's
yeah.
good. But they just haven't put it together. And when you have a defense that can't stop the run and they can't stop the pass, you're going against the Lions. Good luck.
And that's where these teams, I don't know what their game plan is going to be, but obviously that defensive line has some pieces where they can be a little bit aggressive, and we've seen the Lions expose that. And that's the thing, like, what do you do? That's what you're saying. You say pray, because they have some really, really good route runners. They have some really, really good pass catchers. They have some really, really, really good specialty players like Jameson Williams, who will take the top off your entire defense. And then they have running backs. So once you believe you have everybody covered up, you have to deal with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yep.
And your linebackers can't do a daggone thing with them at all. Not at all. Your safeties, they're not on the same weight level as them. I don't care about the size. We've seen him body bag safeties already once he gets back there into the secondary. And that's where all Jared Goff has to be is the guy that we've seen play the clean football. I don't think that we're going to need any aspect of hero ball out of Jared Goff. It's going to be more of what we've seen this offense do, especially the last few weeks. Be precise. The Houston Texans game was standing, but be precise, be to the point. I want to see kind of pissed off Jared Goff. Like last week when he was absolutely going ham and still was on a bench, like thinking about the week before. That's the type of team that I want to see in the type of performance. And you're right, man. This squad has so many ways that they can beat any defense in the league. And then in the Colts, they're coming in with a defense that is just begging to be pounded by the Lions.
They are.
Pause.
Begging to be pounded.
Nope.
And,
Straight up.
You're like, nope.
and as somebody who admittedly hasn't watched every Colts game, sue me, it doesn't make sense why their defense is so bad, because they
bad coaching. That's why.
I mean, that's the only logical conclusion. They've got talent. Yeah. I mean, not really in terms of like safeties and outside corners, but everywhere else they've got talent, and they just have not put it together, and they haven't faced an offense as good as the Lions' offense. So it's the reality is, especially why I said if you're a bad run defense, you're basically effed. The Lions, even in the Texans game where they started off really slow, even in the Texans game, they've ran the ball at least ranging from effectively to phenomenally in every single game this season. Even when the Lions face good run defenses, Jahmyr Gibbs has murdered them. I mean, well, okay, Jahmyr Gibbs didn't murder the Texans, but when they needed some runs at the end, he gave you them.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter he did.
He did. And he murdered the Vikings from start to finish. Those are the only two really good run defenses the Lions have faced, and they didn't have trouble going up against them, the Vikings and the Texans. They're going to have no trouble going up against the Colts' bottom 5 run defense. Bottom 5.
Man, I love our chat family. Y'all got me cracking up. John Henry said, pound it and be efficient in the pass game. That's it. Let me see. There was a couple more here. Randall Smalls, $2 super chat. He said, this week it's going to be the Fumble-rooski.
The Fumble-rooski.
So much.
Super Bowl Carter said, yeah, man, the Colts are looking submissive and breedable. I guess that was to the pounded comments.
Yes.
Jesus
Nick
Christ,
Hedison,
Lord.
Woodward Sports
Y'all some sickos.
needs to make a take the DT.
Oh, Lord.
The Fumble-rooski.
I'll start working on it.
I'm not wearing that t-shirt.
Come on. I'll get it for you guys for Christmas.
Nah, I'm good.
Everybody
I'm
wearing
straight.
a t-shirt around that says
Everybody
take
gets to
the
take
D.
the
No, I'm good on that. I'll take a civilian 16 hoodie though, because that thing is clean.
Is fire,
hey,
dog.
get on Woodward Sports merch. Click that merch tab, man. We telling you, but
It doesn't take long for us to come up with for that comment to be made, and then it's in our merch shop already.
yeah,
You know
Beautiful.
what? I love what Just the Fans say here too. We are now in the dog days of football. Every team has injuries. Only the dogs survive, and Lions are dogs.
Don't you love it too? I mean, you don't love injuries. You hate injuries. The Lions have gone up against some teams who were missing some of their best players. Yeah. However, the Lions have been missing Aiden bleeping Hutchinson.
yeah.
I'm not crying for nobody.
Nobody.
We just signed Davenport.
Yeah.
And then
Out for the season. Derek
season.
Barnes
Both for
out
your
for the season.
starting edge rushers.
Iffy. What do you like?
Alex Anzalone out for the regular season
I'm not-
if he hasn't played it down.
Yeah, like that's
Yes.
where I'm just like, okay. Like
It's-
I'm sorry that people are getting hurt. You don't want to see people get hurt, whether it's on your team or not. But I'm not gonna feel bad for those teams because it is football. And you want to talk about devastation? Aiden Hutchinson was supposed to. His injury was supposed to sink this defense.
Yeah.
Think about that. So I'm not crying for anybody out there, man.
Yep.
At all. Before we move on to the final score predictions, and let's get those offensive either X factors or MVPs for this game. For me, I expect the running backs to go off, but this is one where I believe it's just going to be one of those Jared Goff efficient masterclass games. I really do, and I'm expecting him to go out there and put up one of those. Maybe 5 incompletions at most, 270, 320 yards. And in this one, I think he's actually going to get a couple touchdowns because he's going to be able to throw open a couple wide receivers.
I like that. I love that. I could see it for sure. If I had to pick an offensive MVP, I'm going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs. Logically, I'm thinking David Montgomery. And this is not a shot at Montgomery. Gibbs is a special talent. The more that I watch him play, the more that he continues to produce, he is a Hall of Fame level talent that will not get denied, especially if he's running behind this offensive line. You cannot stop him. He is special. He is best running back in the NFL loading, and he proves it every single week. Not a shot at Demont. Gibbs is just a generational talent, and he keeps working every week.
Yeah, I mean, of course the run game is gonna work. When is it happen? You know, but I really think the combination of Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and J-Mo